Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So the first card you have, Gemini, is the Seven of Pentacles. Now, Seven of Pentacles is the Earth suit. This is the Earth archetype, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn are the Earth archetypes. Over here, if you see this person, it's actually a beautiful picture. Below here it says, patient builder, harvest, pause, strategic review, transformation. Yeah, there's a lot of butterflies here, so things are definitely shifting. They're changing. Seven of Pentacles in the, six at the bottom, one pentacle very close to her heart. There's also heart shape in between. Something that is very dear to her. So she's in her garden that she has been growing and tending to the sunflowers, there's butterflies, there's crescent moon. Crescent moon is like cycles, right? Beginning of new cycles. So I feel, Gemini, this is a time where you are assessing like where and what you should be investing your time, energy, and resources into, what you need to grow, what you need to stop working on. It's like a conscious evaluation, assessment, energy out here because you've already been doing the work, right? Things are already in motion. So now you are kind of evaluating like what exactly needs to happen from here. Like, where do I need to invest more? What do I need to grow? What do I need to cultivate? It could be your projects, your side gigs, whatever that is for you. Your garden, your home, your family, your relations, and it's going to be different for each one of you. But here's the thing, with the planetary alignments that are going on in this week, there's a huge role that Uranus is going to play, specifically. It's very right for this energy of Seven Pentacles to show up because these are of transits which are happening, and Uranus specifically is going to be squaring the lunar nodes. So Uranus energy is like sudden changes, sudden growth, right? So you might experience like sudden changes in the growth or whatever you are working on. And because your ruler is Mercury, that's right now in the sign of Cancer, which is the cardinal water sign. It's a sign of water and home and family and emotions and sensitivity and depth and all of that. So the thing about, sorry about that noise. So yeah, I mean, with the sudden Uranus, with the sudden changes that Uranus brings, your ruler Mercury being in a water sign, it could make it feel a little bit more, sensitive. Oh, I worked on this and I expected this and it's not happened like this, or I wanted it this way and it happened that way. So you could feel a little bit twisted and turn around how it's working out. So just based on that, those emotions, the caveat here with the Seven of Pentacles, especially at this point in time, but the planetary alignments for you, Gemini, is to not abandon things like on the fly. Like, I'm working on, for example, if you have a side hustle, right, and you're not getting the results, don't drop it off because you're not getting the results right now, because there's a lot of Venus energy. There's a lot of Jupiterian energy, which is influencing the sky right now. And these two planets are, they bless long-term efforts. These are not like speculative energies. They bless the projects and the efforts that are cumulative, compounding over a period of time. So just because the outcomes are not as per your taste or per your expectations, don't abandon the projects as yet. That's the only caveat with the Seven of Pentacles. So, and that could be anything, whether it's people that you hang out with, you're not feeling so happy right now, and you stop needing them. Don't do that. Or you're, you kind of having a financial portfolio, and things are not growing as per your expectation, So don't just sell off those, the hoardings that you have just because right now you're not seeing the results. So you need to take a really close look, take a stop, and not abandon things on the fly. Instead, if you have abandoned something, if you have shelved something, it's a good time to revisit it. Because at this point in time, Venus is heading from between Cancer and the sign of Leo. So it's a very good time to cash in on or monetize your skills. If you don't have it, or if you feel you need to revise them, you need to brush them, you need to upskill or something like that, do that. It's a very favorable time. And you will be able to monetize on anything that you upskill or you invest into your own growth and development. It will really benefit you monetarily in the long run. And definitely don't stop working on things that really matter to you, that are heartfelt, that are close. Because it's, look at the pentacle close to our heart. So anything that is really dear to your heart and soul, and, if you really want something, don't abandon it. Just keep working towards it. And also upskilling would be a really good time. Get some certificates, upskill in any way you want to. That's really going to benefit you. So the key energy over here is to be patient with things. If things, even if, in a garden, like we plant the seeds, we have to be patient. If, especially, for the bigger trees, grass comes up really fast and small, shrubs are fine. But the bigger trees that you plant, like, it could be rose plants or any other fruit plants, it takes time. You cannot rush that. Patience is what's needed at this point in time. So whether it's your home, any kind of sale that you're trying to make, even like, if it's in regards to land, real estate, whatever that is, holding things for a long time is going to benefit you. Also in regards to your health, if you have been following a certain diet or a certain medication or certain health plan or fitness plan and things are still not showing up, you're still not seeing the results, don't drop that. Just take it up, a few more days, a few more weeks, push through, and you will start to see the changes. Because if you see here in the forum, there's a lot of sunflowers. Sunflowers is just, a representative of the sun, the god, a sun god. Also, sunflowers are very, very helpful in terms of clearing up the soil. You must have noticed, like, if there's sunflowers planted, they actually purify the soil. They're soil purifiers. So they really help to clear the ground. And, people definitely intentionally plant sunflowers for that reason. So it's an energy of clearing ground to see what needs to be cleared, what needs to be kept. The next card you have, Gemini, is the white buffalo. So white buffalo is like a very sacred animal, like, in the spiritual community, in the tribal, indigenous, and all of those communities, and even today, like, white buffaloes like the white bison, right? And it's a very rare animal. White bison is a very rare animal in its own right. Very few white bisons are there in the world, and very few get born, periodically. So this is a very sacred, very special, very rare, I would say, energy that has come about for you, Geminis. One thing I feel is the Uranus energy is definitely impacting, like I already mentioned, with your Seven of Pentacles energy that was there right before that. There's a lot of assessment. There's a lot of understanding, like where you want to put your time, energy, and effort into. I feel this white buffalo is, again, with the Uranus, which is squaring the north and the south nodes, the lunar moon nodes, which are, of course, the direction of our soul. So you might be experiencing some, shifts in regarding to your spirituality, spiritual beliefs or connection to some faith, spiritual groups or something like that, or even just regular healing and, wellness industry. You might feel a little bit of shake-up or jolt in regards to that. But outside of the spiritual realms, you could see this woman over here. From what I can tell is this white buffalo, the woman over here, she, if I ever admire now, which I can't remember the name of the tradition, but this is a very powerful message. The pipe that she has a symbolic of connection to the divine. So I feel that this is a time, spiritually back time. And pipe is about, to vocalize, right? It creates music. It sends frequency waves into the universe, into the space. So similarly, it's like whatever you say now, whatever you align yourself, your thoughts, your words, that is so sacred that you will end up creating that. So you have to be very, very, I would say you have to be very honest with yourself. Like, what do you want at this point in time for yourself? You know, especially the transition of Venus, like I already mentioned, Venus transiting from Cancer to Leo. It's a very auspicious time for you, Gemini. Like, whatever you say out loud, whether to yourself, to your family, to your neighbors, whatever you commit yourself to in words, it will actually start manifesting, because it will give you a push to create in that direction. The energies are such that whatever you commit to, something which is dear to your heart and soul, something that really adds value, which is meaningful to you, not anything else, not like fakeness, not like fake pretense things that you want, you know. The real thing, what you feel from your heart and soul, is the thing that you need to speak out loud, is the thing that will get manifested, is the thing that will get the divine backing from the cosmos, because the cosmos knows, right? Like where you're coming from, the intention, is it right, is it pretense, whatever that is. So they're actually asking you to, energies are pushing you to align with your soul, your values, your core belief systems, something that you really values and aligns with you. That thing you need to speak out, and that thing will end up manifesting. If you're just speaking fake things, it won't get manifested. So in whichever area of life that is, whether it's for your health, or maybe you've joined like some fitness and you're like, you know what? I think this one's not aligning for me. I need to try a different center or a different modality for fitness, or this place, this home is not working for me. I need to move to a different place, or this job is not aligning with me. I need to move. So whatever you're feeling at the core, you need to analyze that, and you need to commit to something which is strongly resonating. So you need to, also I feel, whatever you're doing, whatever job you are, and if you may turn that into a kind of a devotion or a sacred practice, versus, oh, I gotta do this, or I'm here just to pay my bills, or I'm here just waiting for the watch to turn 6 p.m. or something like that, then that's not gonna work out for now. So if you need to shift up, then that's the one that the cosmos is actually encouraging for you. Even if you, like for example, I knew a lot of teachers and professors that, they were teaching and they were doing it in the same way time and time again. They got bored, they're like, oh God, it's the same thing each and every year. So why don't I shift up the way I teach? I love the subject, but I just don't like this. I'm bored of this way of teaching. So I'm going to introduce some new concepts, some new way of learning and teaching. And then, and they make those changes. And then that's when, they start really enjoying the process of teaching. So even if you are in a space which you like, but you don't like the way it's being done, you can shift things up as well. Now, for some of you, this is also a very good time to sort things out. Like if something has been, worrying, or something has not been working out right, and you want to, sort things with people or situations with, anything, that kind of energy is also available to you, where you can, come together, you can just sit there in peace and speak your truth. And, once you speak your truth, the other person or the other people, will also feel safe to speak their truth. So this is also a good time to open up, to word things out, to sort things out. For some of you, this could be in regards to your family, your ancestors. It could be in regards to the inheritances or properties of ancestors or ancestors' land, or it could be in regards to resolving some disputes in regards to land with the offices, with the government offices or companies, or for the ownership of the land and protection and all of that. So connection with the ancestors or ancestral land. And even though, a lot of places I've been hearing, like, there's a spiritual element to all the policies that are being made, like the river being called as secret and reviewed and, cleaned up, or some lands being given and assigned and disputes resolved for ancestors and indigenous tribes and those people, there's honor in regards to that. And a lot of decisions of the companies or land property owners and all of that are being made in regards to that. So just follow your heart and soul. That's the only key thing here. Don't worry about, what are the other people going to think and say and all of that. Should not be the center of, of focal point for you. Even when you want to live, you want to move, just live where you want to live. I've seen a growth in nomad culture, and even a lot of countries are also opening themselves up to people and nomads that are going there and working in different countries, So by all means, whatever floats your boat, wherever you want to live, whichever kind of place, you want to choose for yourself, high rise, or you want a small cottage kind, or you want to live in the wilderness, or you want to live in the sea, whatever floats your boat, whatever resonates with your heart and soul is something that you should be focusing on. So this energy is favoring that, your commitment, your promise. If there is something that you have been meaning to do in the last few months, you're like, okay, I am going to do this someday. If you kind of thought that to yourself, then it's time to revisit those things, those completed desires, unfulfilled desires that you've been holding in your heart. You can start that. Actually, this is a great time to put that into motion, because the universe is going to support those initiatives that you really wanted to do, or you promised yourself, I'm going to be there, I'm going to do this, that, and the third, and it just got shelved or something like that. Then it's a time to bring that back as well. So it's a good energy. It's a little different from your typical Gemini energy, I would say, because of Uranus presence and, a lot of other planetary transits and all of that. I feel that you're coming across as a little more opposite to scattered energy. It's like a little bit of more calm, cool, collected, intentional, more honest with yourself and people, more vulnerable, more sharing, talking of what you really want, more honest with your soul truth. So it's a little different, versus just chattering here and there. That's the typical Gemini archetype, but here it's like more intention, saying what you mean and meaning what you say is the kind of vibe. I also feel this energy is going to encourage you to work more with the, the nature, with land, with the plants, with water energy, in whatever way it's, you work with, but it's something about, ancestors, land, and nature, and indigenous things, and all of that, the sacredness, the wellness, the spirituality, and all of that, some kind of ceremony, rituals, those kind of things, like sound baths and sound healings and those modalities. There's also going to be something that you will be attracted towards. So there is some kind of a recalibration, I feel, which is happening for you, Geminis. Like something more sacred, more spiritual alignment is happening, which is a good thing. It's a good energy. And the last chapter to the Gemini you have is a message from Cosmos. I further says, wounded healer. It says healing energy, vitality, and lipos energy are flowing through you and to you. You are a healer and you provide healing for others, even if you're not conscious of it. Whatever needs healing in your life is being resolved. Your so faults are becoming your virtues. No matter what happened in your past, the past does not need to equal the future. It is true, the cracks can be where the light enters the soul. Your native spirits want you to know the wounded healer is a tradition in native cultures that asserts that some of the greatest healers are those who have gone through hardship and survived, or who have been wounded and healed. It's believed that these individuals can provide great solace and can instigate profound healing for others. You may have been wounded in your life, or you may have gone through challenging times, but the roots go deepest where the wind blows strongest. It says here, but the roots go deepest where the wind blows strongest. That's amazing. Yeah, when the wind blows strongest, the plants that have the deepest roots are going to survive. Further, it says you are a healer in the most profound sense of the word. Healing energy is surging through you. Whatever in your life needs healing is being addressed on the inner realms. Your strength lies in the difficulties that you've overcome. The journey, list each of your wounds or challenges from the past. Then next to each one, write down what came out of that situation that was a benefit. Additionally, repeat again and again, I am a healer and I am healed. So be it. Further, it says there is a nutmeg's guidance all to Gemini available to you that says when I appear in your kitchen, you can be sure that your luck will improve. This may sound too good to be true, but haven't you been asking for a change of fortune lately? Carry me as a charm to ensure a favorable outcome in legal matters or in your pocket to bring you luck on your travels. Add me to beverages to enhance visions during meditation, or rub a little nutmeg oil on your temples to open up your natural clairvoyant abilities. Anointing green candles with nutmeg essential oil during money spells will drop prosperity to your household, and carrying a whole nutmeg seed while gambling will bring you all the luck you need to be a winner. No, I don't endorse gambling. There's no illusion, for Lady Luck is on your side as you roll the dice, knowing that today you cannot lose. Yeah, it's just like those simple challenges, those calculated risks that we need to take in order to move forward. You know, when you had the Seven of Pentacles, it's the analysis. It's a gamble, like where do you want to put your time and energy into? What will flourish? What will thrive? What won't? So, you know, life in general is kind of a little bit of a gamble based on the choices that we make on a day-to-day basis. So I feel that's the gamble this is talking about, not the one with the money. So Gemini, those were your messages, and hope they resonated with you. So the first card you have for today, Libra, is the Hermit. This is Major Arcana number 9. It's coming too strong with this energy. Below it says inner mastery, sacred solitude, owl wisdom, and mountain clarity. Yeah, so if you look at this, person is in the sage, actually in robes with a white owl and a stick and a lantern right on top of a mountain. Right, so when it says mountain clarity, it all means that for looking from an elevated perspective, and you stand on a mountain, you can see the view down so nicely, you know. Things look different when you're at an elevation. So this energy is about tapping into your higher self, you know, rising above the issues, rising above what you can see at ground level and seeing the elevated perspective of things. And of course, there is this beautiful six-pointed star, or six-pointed star. I feel that this is just guidance in the darkness, right? Which is, and there is this owl. The owl anyways does not need this brightness because it can see through the dark. So owl is all about wisdom, your inner calling, your inner world, your inner perspectives. What do you see? It's your vision, it's your perspective, not, and also the magician is the hermit. The hermit is a solo energy. Now this is like, you know, very wise sage. This is like somebody who has that level of wisdom, of growth, of understanding, you know, of the worldly matters, or of everything, you know, very connected to their own spiritual self, to the divine white light, to the star energy. So it's like you are guiding yourself out here. This is not really about Chandler Mountain, even though it could be for some of you that you need to just, you know, to clear your mind, you need to go away into some retreats or some, you know, the highlands or, you know, wilderness or something like that, to just spend some time with nature and just clear your mind. For some of you, it could be that, but otherwise, this is an energy where you need to answer your own questions. You need to find your own path forward. You know, whatever decisions you need to make it at a solo level, not as a collective or as a group or a family or a group of friends. Or no, it's got to be your solo decision here. The hermit is solo by himself. So whatever answer, whatever decision, direction you choose, it's going to be your for something. And it's a good energy actually, because, you know, Aries is right opposing to your sign, and Saturn right now, you know, though it's a planet of structure, it's in the opposite sign of you, Libra. And Venus, which is your ruling planet, is actually about to leave Cancer, heading into Leo. And this is a very sacred, important time for you guys, Libra, because it's that moment where you decide something for yourself, something that resonates deeply with you in regards to any situation, whether it's, you know, a personal relation, or it's a business relation, or it's a business decision, or it's a living situation, or it's your health, whatever decision that is, it's got to be your solo. And it's a call to actually finally make the decision, because the hermit has gained that wisdom and is about to step down from that mountain, you know. He can already see it. The sage, the hermit can already see it, has the answers, done the research, everything's done. Now just the final call needs to be made. The fact that the owl is here, which means that you can see something from an elevated perspective and in the darkness that other people cannot see. And you know, the thing about this energy hermit is, what I realized is, when you are too busy, the hermit doesn't show up. If there is nobody here in this landscape, so it's a time of silence. And you know, mostly it's a dark energy, right? All hermits are like dark energies, like in the dark, in the silent moments, in the wee hours, you know, or in the quieter moments. That's when you will get your answers. When you're not pushing hard for the answers is when the answers will find you. And honestly, like even scientifically, it has been proven time and time again that when we're in the quieter moments, that when you're trying to sleep, when you're about to sleep, or when you wake up a little early in the early hours, that's when you will find your answers, because that's when the brain is most relaxed, most, what do you call, you know, it's like most best ideas will come to you at that point in time. That's why these moments of being alone, away from social media, away from external noise, away from the city hustle bustle is very much needed in order to recollect your thoughts, you know, to write things down, to understand, to get to the depth of things, to find your zen space, to deep breathe, to study something, to read up something, to give the answers and all of that. You know, that quiet time is very much needed on a daily basis. In today's fast-paced world and performative world, you know, we have to find time for these moments. So make that time, and I feel that the answers will come to you without pushing too hard. And whatever answer comes to you, Libra, work on that. Take the first action on that, because Venus is there move into Leo. So this hermit is going to find an answer with the wisdom and the research and the inner knowing and the heartfelt, you know, soul-felt calling. That answer that you get will shift something, will produce something out of you, and that will be ready for the external world to see. Now, you know, I've heard people say that they've taken sabbaticals away from work, written documents, written books and novels, which ended up, you know, being good sellers and bestsellers, and, you know, they were so good, or created products that were really sold out really fast, or had a business idea, which they came back and they did something, you know, and it was a mega hit or something like that. So in those quieter moments, wherever you come to a conclusion that is the path for you, will be the path that you will be happy to take action on, and will be the so will be something that you will produce and the world will see. Whether it's a personality change, whether it's some change in you, whether something you do to your outlook or physical appearance, or whether you create something, you know, in quietly, like write a book or create a, take a skill, take up a course or learn a skill or something like that, you know. So something that comes out in those quieter moments will shine soon. So basically, this is a good time to take a break, go on a vacation, or, you know, spend some time with yourself in nature, away from the social media chatter and all of that, because something will come to you. This is a very potent, it's a major arcana. You know, something major will come here to you. And this might even give you an idea that you can capitalize and monetize on. Yeah, so take care of your, I would not just take care, yeah, of course, taking care by, you know, finding your quieter moments, quieting the mind, and seeing what you really want is a good place to start. So I definitely feel that this is a little shift away, because this is Virgo energy. Virgo is an earthy sign. So there's a lot of grounded energy that's coming through for you, Libra. We are an air sign. But a lot of groundedness is coming, you know? Like, you're not just seeing things on the spur. You're thinking things through. You're taking sorry about that noise. So you are taking some time to collect your thoughts, to work on it, And it's good because most of the time Libra is all about asking people like, what do you want, and all of that. And but I feel here this is about you because it's a solo energy. So rather than just checking with other people, like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And doing things that will benefit them or that will make other people happy. I feel that now you're going to prioritize, like, what is it that you want for yourself alone? So you're not going to be in that energy of doing things, burning out because you want to avoid conflicts or want to please people or want to be in their good books. But here you are, you're going to shine light on those things that you have been doing for other people, for the external world, versus what you have been doing for your own self. I feel that's a thing you're going to take a stock of. And I do feel that whatever comes out of this, whatever plan, the solution or answer comes out of this, it's going to stick with you for quite some time. It's not a fly-by-night thing. It's going to stick with you for some time. It's going to whether it's an aspect or a skill or something or a job change or whatever you do with this time, whatever comes out of this is going to be good for you. It's going to be your path because the hermit is on their own solo soul journey. This is going to be your path, not something that other people want you to do or approve of you. So it's going to be a personal decision and good for you. The next card you have, Libra, is the Knight. Further on it says, sovereign stillness, cosmic holding, shadow as teacher, and nocturnal clarity. So exactly, I feel that if you look at the picture, there is this figure out here, solid, figure out here, and below is completely draped. There's a lot of lavender, indigo shades in this deck. And this person is draped in this fabric, which is indigo, and it has all stars and cosmos. And on the left hand, the right hand. The right hand, the person is holding this thing. What is this? On the kind of like a light on a chain. I don't know what it's called. Sensor kind of a thing. It's like a olden day lights that were there. I told him them in jean. So basically, this person is wearing a drape, which is like the cosmos, the night, the mystery of the night. So I feel that, and also nighttime, the dark time, is considered a time when people receive, messages through dreams or through quieting their minds. The brain just gets ideas because it's more calmer, it's not distracted. And every idea and things, visions that are in the subconscious, it gets a chance to surface to the conscious, especially in the early morning hours, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., that time, it's scientifically also proved that the veil between the earthly realms and the divine realms, the cosmos, is very thin. So communication, ideas, inspiration, synchronicities, I would say, the angels, they drop ideas, all of that, the flashes, the visions, all of that happens in those night hours, the quieter times. That's when the actual thinking, creation, all happens, it's in the nighttime. Daytime is mainly execution. Nobody's going to sit in the daytime and, put their heads to thinking. Of course, we're always thinking about things and what to do, planning and all of that. But for the most part, the planning, the ideas, the inception of ideas, the larger picture, all of that happens in the nighttime, in the quieter time. And I feel here for you, Libra, you had the Hermit card before this, and it's a similar energy. Hermit is also like during the night hours, the energy is most active when you're by yourself thinking in the later part of the night versus the day. It's not the daytime energy. Both of them, you got a very nighttime energy. And it's true, all of these unseen forces, they're most active at that point in time, during the nighttime. So For some of you, you could be into like stargazing or studying about the cosmos or studying about the deeper truths, the mysteries, the astrology, and all of those deep psychology subjects. Some of you might be into that. Or some of you might just be writing, things down, like writing your daily journals or dream journals, putting it on paper and creating something out of it. It's a lot of ideas do come during the nighttime, and people are able to exactly express themselves, their emotions, and write it on paper. It's also a good time for you to release things, release a burden. Because if you see, like the person is holding, the hands are down in releasing energy. So it's also a good time to release things. But more than that, I feel it's just about learning things about yourself, realizing things, getting the answers. What's your next thing going to be? Whether it's ideas for a project, some creative ideas, or whether it's you're looking for answers in your personal life, or any random answers that you are seeking, that you are thinking, maybe decisions, maybe choices, whatever that is, all of those breakthroughs, ideas, inspirations. The nighttime is a good time. I've seen students, they are, burning the midnight oil or a lamp. People used to sit up till late and they used to think about it. They used to go out, in the moonlight and walk around in nature, or just, and then they get there, they get me a lot of inspirations at the time while walking in the light. So this is what it is. Like you had the hermit energy, and the hermit is a similar type of energy, doing the inner work and writing things down from the subconscious, and also like processing things, in a deeper way, understanding things in a deeper way. So you might be feeling more calm, you might be talking less, you might be hearing more, you might be processing things more. You might be healing yourself. Nighttime is a good time for getting a good night's rest. And, a lot of tools now, they track, on the phones, they track how many hours of sleep you got, because it's very essential. The importance of sleep has been now being emphasized and enforced more than ever before. So having a good night's sleep. And also for some of you, this could be, stargazing. For some of you, you could be visiting places where the sky is clear. You're able to see the night sky, versus in the city where, sorry about the noise. So you might be visiting places where the sky is more clearer. You're viewing some kind of planets in the sky or stars in the sky. For some of you, it could be that as well. There's a lot of properties now that, or boutique hotels that are built in the wilderness, and they are in the national parks, or some type of desert areas. When people are able to sit there, relax, just enjoy the night sky. So some of you could be into those kind of events as well. For some of you, I feel that it's just about spending time with yourself, without the overstimulation of the media or digital media, of digital devices. You're just want to sit by yourself, just read a book, or listen to some music, or just read a book or something like that. For some of you, it could be that as well. But for the most part, this is about processing something, or getting some guidance from the cosmos, from the angels, getting the answers to your questions or solutions or breakthrough moments. And whatever you figure out, I feel there is that similar message in the Hermit card for you here, Libra. There's a window of opportunity. Whatever you figure, whatever comes out in the dark, whatever comes out in the nighttime, an idea, or you writing a book, or some creative venture, whatever that is, some growth, development, skill, whatever you learn about yourself, or a skill or a business idea, something is going to be your next chapter. It's going to get that boost. It's going to get that traction. It's going to get that forward momentum. It's going to be visible to other people. You know, whatever you have been preparing for in the dark, in the nighttime, is now going to be, whether it's your habit, your aspect, you know, and people are going to see. Maybe you figured that, oh, this habit of mine is done, but somewhere cut it out. So once you release that, you know, you present yourself differently, and people will see like, oh, yeah, Libra is not doing that anymore, or is that, you know, has changed and something like that. So people might even see in that way, see some kind of visible change. Something will be visible to the external because Venus is shifting from Cancer to Leo. And the last card for today, Libra, you have is a message from Cosmos, and it says, eat lunch. It says, cleanse yourself, body, mind, and soul. Purify, clever care, let go of objects and relationships that no longer serve you. Purify your body, go within, meditate, talk to the Creator, give thanks. Your native spirit wants you to know the sweet lunges are small dome structures covered with skins, blankets, and or mud in which very hot stones are placed in the center. Water is poured over the stone so that hot steam arises from the rocks. Thus, the sweet lodge, with its hot steam, is used for purification ceremonies as well as a place to commune with the divine. This card shows you to tell you that it's time to care and the clutter in your life. Sometimes clutter can be things in your closet that you don't love or use, but sometimes clutter can be outmoded relationships or habits that no longer serve you. The clearer your inner and outer space becomes, the easier it will be to hear the sweet messages from your soul. The journey. Sometimes this card chooses you when it's time to do some physical detoxification. Fast for a day. Drink green juices. Care out some clever. Love it, use it, or get rid of it. Even one small item can make a difference. Further, it says it's time to take action. New moon in Aries. Yeah, so there is an energy of a new moon of Aries because we saw the Saturn in Aries, which is opposite to your sign. That's putting pressure for structure in the Hermit card we saw. Now you have the energy of the new moon in Aries. It says the flame is lit. A wonderful new start beckons and you're on the right track. Drawing this card is a superbly positive sign. If there is something you want to happen in your life, take this card as a big yes from the universe. This is the time to really tune onto your dreams. You may still have a long way to go. After all, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, but you're on your way. Determination, self-assertion, and bravery are called for. But the hot fire of Aries is driving you towards success in whatever endeavor you're seeking about. The caution, don't go too fast and forget your manners. Treat people well as you charge towards your goal. You will create much better karma for yourself. So, Libra, those were your messages and hope they resonated with you. The first card you have, Aquarius, for today is the Four of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles is the earth suit, and to represent that, if you see there are 4 pentacles on the 4 corners of the stone frame. It feels like a portal. And then in the portal, or like a frame even, there's a swan, there's beautiful sun rays, and then there is this crescent moon right on the top of this stone frame. So, and it's like, it's a very different energy than the than the Rider-Waite deck about 4 of Pentacles, where a person is actually holding on to the coins, folding away, or, feeling like they need to, just hold on to something. So it's a very tight holding on to energy. But here I feel it's more like a portal. It's more like a gateway out here. I feel that Aquarius, with the current planetary movements, Saturn is your ruler. But right now, Pluto is retrograding in your sign. And Pluto is all about, going deep within. It was the original ruler of Scorpio, still is. But it's all about depth. It's about getting to the bottom of things. It's like paying attention to, it's like digging from the deep. And over here, I feel that, and also, if Uranus, the planet Uranus is right now it has a squaring aspect to the south and the north node, the nodes of the moon. I feel that you might be holding on to things, Aquarius, just out of fear. And that's the problem. Whatever you're holding on to is the thing that needs to be, you need to release a grip on that. It needs to, the hold on that needs to be, the grip needs to be loosened to release so that, because Pluto is the energy of changing, transformation. The same with dragonfly. If there's a dragonfly that is sitting on the stone frame, dragonflies are about releasing illusions. That's what dragonfly energy does, It brings light to structures that we thought are serving us. Well, it could be anything, some kind of a structure that you thought was good for you, and you're holding on to it tightly. That's what needs to be released. And I feel that there is some alternate way which is available to you, but you're not trusting it because, you're just holding on to something so tightly that you cannot see the use and the utility of a alternate structure which is right there in front of you. And I feel this dragonfly is going to shed light on that. It's going to dissolve all the wrong thoughts or ideas that you have, all the illusions around a certain concept that you have. It's here to dissolve that. So once you loosen the grip, once you take it easy, go with the flow, that's when you're going to walk through this portal which is waiting for you. I feel that, it's some kind of a foundation out here for you, Aquarius. Like, it could be anything, a financial foundation, something about finances or portfolios, or you want to just clear away all the balances, checks and balances that you have. Maybe you want to pay off any kind of debt and you want to have like a solid structure of financial. So you might be building towards that, or it could also be about, things around in your house as well, like to make it more, I would not say minimalistic, but again, you're trying to make things more functional, You're like, okay, a dining table can serve as a desk for my work, or a bed can be, there's a lot of multi-use for each other that's available these days. So some kind of a functional thing you're trying to create. You're not just hoarding items because they're good. You're like, no, functionality first. So for some of you, it could be that. For some of you, I feel that, you're building something, these feel like pillars to me. The frame looks like strong pillars to me. So you are building something underneath. Maybe you haven't told it to the people yet. Maybe you're doing it quietly. You're building some kind of a structure, but you're not being very loud about it. And this dragonfly out here is also there for you to take stock of things. Dragonfly is that sheds light on things that, it sheds light on things that we need to pay attention to. What were you not paying attention to? Something is brought to light. It could be some kind of a habit, some kind of a pattern or an addiction of some sort. And addiction does not have to be just consumable addiction. It could be anything, like binge watching or digital addictions, whatever that is. Now, dragonfly is out here to tell you that some kind of a habit or pattern, whatever you have, is costing you something. It's like, it's cost, maybe it's like, for example, if you drink too much of anything, maybe if you are a heavy alcoholic or a beverage drinker of any kind, it's kind of the health will kind of tell you that, oh, some things aren't right in my body. I'm feeling a certain type of pain. Maybe I should stop consuming too much of drinks or something like that. So the dragonfly out here is going to show you that, your that habit of binge eating or binge drinking, whatever that is causing some kind of a health problem. So something like that. I'm not saying you're going to have a health problem, but I'm just saying that you will realize that what you're doing, which you did not even think about earlier, you were just doing it out of habit, out of, you know, just auto habit. And now it's like, you're kind of restructuring that. For some of you, this is like, building healthy routines. It's also what I'm picking up on. Yeah, I mean, just building healthy routines and structures. It can also be protection structures, like maybe around your house, building fences, building some kind of security structures outside your house, or if you're in some kind of, at workplace, maybe you're working for a company that builds some kind of security structures, maybe online security, offline security, wall security, it could be anything. But some kind of a security company also you could be working in. And I feel that whatever structure you're building, I feel that will be the starting point of the next phase. Either, it's like, it's like, for example, if this stone structure was, for example, if this stone structure was a frame, so you bought this frame, and now you're painting it with this water, putting a swan there, putting the sun out there, and the moon up there. So you first got this frame, and now you're painting everything. So it's like the structure that you're creating is going to be the launch pad for the next phase, next chapter, next thing, next investment, whatever that is what I'm picking up on. So, and whatever you're building the structure for, it's ready, it's the launch pad, and those opportunities where you feel that the structure is going to benefit you are on its way towards you here, Aquarius. So this is like a very much portal energy, walking through a portal of some sort. The next card you have, Aquarius, is the gate. And I feel that we just spoke about the Four of Pentacles, a portal, a gate, I feel it's just a complementary, it's an extension of the Four of Pentacles energy for you, Aquarius. If you see this woman over here, she's riding a wave. And then she's holding this golden circular kind of a gateway. And she's almost like, she's going to, it's like a doorway, it's like you open the door of like a submarine or something like that. It feels like that, and then she's riding this wave. So something which is moving her forward. And that's exactly the Four of Pentacles energy also I felt with you. There is something new that you're stepping into. It's like a portal opening for you. It's like you already have been creating a structure, you've been researching, doing the inner work, the inner plumbing, the inner architecture, gathering documents, getting the approval signs, whatever that is, for you. And now you're ready to step into the next phase. You're ready to launch the project. You're ready to, take it up a notch further. It's like stepping into a portal. I feel that there is some kind of gateway that you are walking through, whether it's shifting a job or a career, or it's a place, or integrating something. It is some kind of a portal, a gateway that you're walking through here, Aquarius. And I feel that this is something that you have initiated, because it's an initiation into something next phase, next level. And I feel you are doing it. It's like you are digging the initiative on something. You are applying. You are sending that message. You are talking. You are expressing. You are showcasing something like that. And it's an initiate by you. So this is quite an extension to the Four of Pentacles energy, where you've built a foundation, a structure, and now you're taking it next level. And the last card for today, Aquarius, you have is a message from the cosmos. And it further says, white buffalo. This is the same energy that Gemini had. So some of you could have some Gemini placements, but it's a little bit of a theme for the air signs, I would say. It says, abundance and security are flowing into your life. All things are possible. Balance and harmony prevail. You may be called upon to stand up for others, but you can do this because you have the support of many beings in the spirit realm. Your native spirit wants you to know, in the Native American traditions, there are prophecies about the coming of the white buffalo, especially among the Lakota, Dakota, and Nakota. There is a legend that white buffalo calf woman, a mystical being, came to the people a very long time ago when they were out of balance. She gifted the people with a secret bundle containing the white buffalo calf pipe to help restore the balance, the same energy that Gemini had. Further, it says, upon leaving, the white buffalo calf woman prophesied that she would return at the end of an age and that she will appear as a white buffalo calf. In recent times, white buffalo calves have been born, leading May to believe that this is the beginning of a new time. When this card chooses you, it's an honor, for it speaks of a time of miracles and balance in all things. You are a channel for the greater forces in the universe. With their help, all is possible, but without it, things can be a struggle. Surrender to support from the Great Spirit. You do not have to do everything alone. Further, it says the journey shape-shift into the white buffalo, and the energy this card brings will multiply tenfold. Imagine that you can feel the power in your muscles and the fecund earth beneath your hooves. Fecund earth beneath your hooves. Feel the weight of your horns and the warmth of your hide. This calls for the deeper energies of white buffalo to fall into your life. So, Aquarius, those were your messages, and hope they resonated with you. So, thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.